Well, the minute you do, please let us know, because I want to get you on to tell us what she said or get her on with you. That would be huge to have Miley Cyrus on here. But if the CIA hears, they're going to contact her daddy, who's all mobbed up with the government. I mean, I'm sure he's a friendly person as well, and probably try to stop her from coming on. But they definitely don't want the info war going to all those young girls. Stay there, Heidi and Spencer. This is amazing information.
Do you understand how dark it is? How far down the line we are? How late it is?
Heidi is our guest, so is Spencer, Mr. and Mrs. Pratt, Heidi Montag and Spencer Pratt here. And literally, I had no idea how big these guests are in the whole pop culture thing. The whole office knows who they are. Jaron's like a fan. He was telling me, I read People magazine every week. And, keep track of this. And I think they're misunderstood by the media. And that's what Burmis is saying, Jason, here in the office. He's saying that the media enjoys, quote, throwing you guys under the bus. Can you explain that to me? Because what I'm getting here from the office is you guys are all over TV, all over the news, covers of magazines. When I started looking into you yesterday, I recognized your faces and names, even though I hadn't really been paying attention to pop culture. Because I've got to remember that pop culture is where it's all at. Most Americans don't even check the news, much less go deep into it. So what is your relationship with the media?
We used to have a phenomenal relationship with the media. They've kind of turned on us now because they've created us into such a monstrous fame monster, in their opinion, that, for instance, certain websites can't even have us on their websites because we are overshadowing all the other stars that they're trying to promote and everything. Like, they made us too big. Like, they Obama-sized us. And now they kind of made a mistake because the other people they're trying to promote don't even have value on their websites anymore. So, they've kind of turned on us. But in the beginning, the reason why we got so big is because the girls' television show, the reality show that we were both on, the narrator didn't get along with us. So she's the narrator. So the skew, the manipulation of the angle of being able to narrate the show, just like American government can narrate our media, it's the same exact principle. It's like, so they can either put a positive light on you or a negative light. We took the negative light and smiled and went with it, and, we're very appreciative of, good press, negative press, whatever, because at the end of the day, now we have a bigger, reach to talk about Alex Jones and, the New World Order takeover. So
you were telling me during the break, though, that your life has really changed. Can you say that in your own words for the audience, but really challenge young people to spread the word about the New World Order takeover that we're in the middle of?
I mean, it's beyond a life change. Like, when I said you gave me the Matrix pill, I really feel like I'm out of the Matrix, and we're driving around in that little spaceship in the sewers, and you're at the helm. Because, I mean, what young people need to realize, what I didn't realize, is that video games and all these silly blogs, which is, no substance, just evil. All blogs are just making fun of people, breaking people down, getting the right comments. It's just like the bathroom wall, on the internet. And for me, just yesterday, I'm 25 years old, and it took me, yesterday to delete on my bookmarks on my iPhone and my computer all these news websites that feed me, just popcorn news, and all my blogs that, about Hollywood and the music industry, all the stuff that has no meaning in our lives right now.
Exactly. They want to get you drunk on petty issues, like that story from Yahoo News, the cover charge at this club, an RFID implant. And it says, take the chips. You don't have to worry about money, worry about nothing, just party and have a good time. It says to take a burden off of you, to free customers of the burdens of having to carry their purses and wallets. But really, you're being enslaved to a chip to track and trace everything you do, to bring you into this electronic straitjacket, this electronic prison or plantation or neo-surf feudalist system. And it's sold as if it's so good, and then the girls and the boys and the teenagers, the young people, are all so insecure because they don't look like a Heidi or they don't look like a Spencer. That then makes them insecure, so the establishment can come in and then sell them the products and then make them never feel like empowered entities or creatures alive one time on this planet as a test by God to see where they go in the future. I think it's very exciting that you guys, as these big pop culture icons, are now having this metamorphosis to the New World Order. Is it fair to say you guys have woken up then to the Matrix and the New World Order?
That would be an understatement.
We've definitely woken up to what's going on and to the New World Order and to a real Matrix that there is in the world. It's not just conspiracies. It's nothing to do with that. That's a word that they've created to make people sound crazy. It's like, you only sound crazy if you don't believe what everyone believes, if you're not a sheep. But that's not what God says. And now that people are trying to play God on this earth, it's very scary. And I pray for their souls, because there's a lot more than this life. And do not mess with God or his people, because there will be punishment for it. And this is a very scary thing. And chips are disgusting. I keep hearing this, and I can't even believe it. And they've done such a good job at making computers seem cool, and you need the new technology, the new anything at any cost. That is such a lie. That is so disgusting. We're incriminating ourselves by laziness, and it's very sad. And I really pray for America and that everybody wakes up, because this chip is the end of humanity.
Well, I will tell you what happened is old Hollywood, the really big stars, they're all awake to this. And I know a lot of these people, and a lot of them have reached out to me publicly, but most of them off record. And they're totally aware of the technological control grid. They're totally aware of the vaccines and the fluoride and the New World Order. They're totally freaked out, just trying to do their movies to make money so they can live outside the country or live in an armored compound. They're not into fame anymore. They're totally freaked out, but just playing along with the system. Then there's kind of the new Hollywood super hype that just bypasses movies and films and just moves right to these kind of pop creations like you guys. But to have you kind of at the front lines of the Matrix system, taking over people's brains, to have you breaking out of the Matrix all because one of your music managers or friends showed you the Obama deception, and then that led you down deeper into the rabbit hole, is just so incredibly exciting. Now, in the last few months, since you started waking up to this, have you seen the media come after you even more? Because folks in my office that are aware of what's happening, they say it seems the last few months the media has even been savaging you that much more.
I feel like they're just getting angrier and angrier, but I feel like the world is just getting angrier and angrier. I don't even think it's necessarily that. They want to come harder after us to distract people even more from what's going on in their own lives. So they're not thinking, oh, wow, I'm in debt, the government's taking over, what are we going to do? They're thinking, oh, well, Heidi and Spencer are blah, blah, blah. That is so sad to me.
Absolutely. I see people cheating each other more. I see the public lying. I see infighting. I see government getting more corrupt. It really is like the fall of Rome. Everything is accelerating towards this collapse, and they mean to build on those ashes this world government, which its plans stated in my film Endgame Blueprint for Global Enslavement on record is to kill at least 80% of us. And I'm sorry, folks, that's more important than if your Botox is working. That's more important than Michael Jackson is the lion state for all his fans at the Neverland pervert ranch. It's more important that Barack Obama is running a pimp game of lying to everybody about everything he said he would do than whether or not Anna Nicole Smith was murdered. What do you guys say to that?
I mean, what really hit me is when you started, uncovering all the evidence of how, Obama's just all tied into all these energy companies. And it's just like Bush and his whole crew, they were all about the oil. But America, when they were ready to revolutionize and get, really make a stand, they threw in Obama. And now oil's bad. Oh, you're totally right. Everybody, we're done with oil. But I got this new hustle over here, which is energy that I'm sure you don't realize, but I have a piece of. Let's push this on to everybody.
Exactly. For those that don't know, Obama owns stock in 2 of the mercantile energy trading companies with Al Gore. That's now mainstream news. We told people about it in the Obama deception, but it's now mainstream news. We saw the federal filings. And Al Gore is the majority owner of Occidental Petroleum, one of the biggest oil companies in the world. And what it is artificial scarcity. They're just creating a monopoly where they're going to charge you more for regular energy and restrict the amount of energy you get. Well, I've been asking questions here for 25, 30 minutes. You guys get into whatever subjects you want to discuss. What about government-sponsored terror? What about 9/11? What about governments staging terror attacks? Is 9/11 an inside job from your research?
Not from my research, but from your research, it 100% is, because I can't even believe that it took me seeing your film to know about Building 7. How did that not hit the mainstream media? How did, and my favorite clip in your film is when the owner of the World Trade Centers, he goes, I said, bring it down. I mean, I don't know the statistics, but I've watched documentaries on Vegas blowing up buildings. They charged the buildings up for 2 weeks to a month. How did they just fill enough bombs to take down Building 7 so beautifully in a half hour? That just made me sick.